Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where property meets purpose. I'm Talia Hugh.
And I'm Megan Rovers. Together we're here to unpack the real stories behind the people shaping the property industry. From bold first steps to career-defining moments and the life lessons they've built along the way.
If you're passionate about property, curious about the human side of success, or just looking to build something meaningful, you're in the right place.
So let's unpack it. Welcome to Built for This.
Today on Built for This, we're joined by Nathan Braddock, Managing Director of Buddy Up Geelong, a program helping young men with disabilities build confidence, independence and a healthy lifestyle.
After 20 years in construction, Nathan had a life-changing moment and made a career pivot in 2024 to build something with deeper purpose.
We chat about that shift, the lessons from 2 decades in the construction and how his personal property journey ties it all together.
So let's unpack it.
Welcome, Nathan, to our podcast today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me, especially into your beautiful home.
Thanks
for coming.
Yeah, we're so grateful to have you here. We'd love to start off a little bit about your background, a little bit about yourself. If you could start us off.
Yeah, well, I suppose a little bit about myself. Husband, first and foremost, to a beautiful wife, Liz, who's super supportive of me and super patient, sort of has to be. And then 3 beautiful boys, Jackson, Archie and Hudson. So I suppose that's the number one and 2 titles, husband and father, which is both incredible jobs. And then, background of me is 20 years in construction, have recently made, I don't know if you call it a flip, it's a pretty big change of direction, but it's been incredible to make that change and the purpose that's given me in life for everything really, yeah.
Amazing.
How did you start, I guess, going to high school? You're a Geelong local?
I am Geelong, yes. Joey's boy.
Is that the theme for the rugby jumper, the branding of the company that you've currently got?
It's funny. It's not. There'll be plenty of size for this, but I'm not a Geelong supporter. I'm Geelong born and bred. I'm actually a Collingwood supporter. Don't hold it against me. Buddy Up actually started in Perth. And funnily enough, these were the colours that they used for their rugby jumpers. So we've just taken that on, and when I saw that, it just made complete sense to have the blue and white in Geelong, with Geelong Football Club being such a big part of our community. So that's the inspiration of that. Sometimes it feels a bit odd putting on the blue and white as opposed to black and white, but I also do have a huge amount of respect for the Geelong Football Club. They've been great to us, and I know a lot of people within there, and their culture is pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So high school in Geelong and then first job, what was that for yourself?
First job, so high school, Joey's, probably wasn't great at high school. I knew I didn't really want to go and study. I was horrible at studying. Knew I wanted to be outdoors, doing something with my hands. Carpentry was something I'd really liked the look of. So finished year 12, much to mum and dad's despair. That was probably my gap year, not that they want to hear that because they paid the fees, but had great fun with friends and got through that. And then went and did a pre-apprenticeship, just had speaking to a lot of people, was way more attractive to prospective employers if you'd done your pre-apprenticeship, because you didn't have to go to trade school so much. So went and did that. First job nearly stopped me being a carpenter. I ended up with a guy who we got there at night, set up in the got there in the morning, set up in the dark, and we left at night in the dark. I was massively into my football and sport, and he told me if I worked for him that I needed to quit sport because it impacts how much you can work, which I went home and was like, wow, is this what the rest of life's like? Didn't last too long with him. Got another opportunity with who ended up being the company I did my apprenticeship with, and a guy, Grant Gibb, who is still one of my good mates, who taught me a lot, not just about carpentry, but about quality, customer service. But the biggest part he probably taught me was about family and life, and to, work to live, not live to work, which is something he used to always say. And we did architectural homes along the coast, beautiful homes, start to finish, almost see the homeowners move in and enjoy a beautiful home. And it was something that I really loved being a part of that journey for a family. But I also loved working for Grant. I just remember, one day there was a really crappy job to do, and instead of him saying, "You're the apprentice, you do it," he said, "You're busy, I'll go and do that crappy job." He really set for me that, nobody's too good for anything, and he set me up really well, not just for carpentry but for life, I think. And to Grant and Tish, they've been incredible for me, and still two people that I'm really good friends with, and their kids, their son just actually sent me a message recently. So, yeah.
Love that.
That's awesome, and I guess I don't know if the right reference is a sliding doors, but there's a pivotal moment there that you could have just kind of gone, well, this is the job that I've got. I'm just going to stick with this person who we don't really value align, or you've gone and found someone who aligns with your values, and that's obviously then had a lifelong effect on you. And I think a really key message coming from that is, if you do find yourself in that position, people are always like, oh, the grass isn't always greener, but sometimes it actually is. And like, it's okay to just go, okay, well, I'm not going to just do what I'm told and stay at the job that's not really aligning with my values. When you don't have that value alignment, that's okay. And you don't have to ask the other person to change. You can walk away. That's
right. Yeah. Which at times is way easier said than done. But yeah, we'll probably get into a little bit of that later. But yeah, there's if especially when it comes to values and who you want to be, who you are, I think that's the really important piece to align yourself with, because at the end of the day, you go to work 8+ hours a day, and you want to enjoy it while you're there, and you want to get something out of that as well.
Absolutely. What was next for you? So building, and then I guess what did the next few years look like for you?
Yeah, so I finished my apprenticeship. Again, probably to the dismay of Gibby, I was sort of looking at what was next straight out of my apprenticeship. He was keen for me to work with him, but I was keen to probably explore either the world a little bit or Australia a bit more. Love Geelong. I can't talk enough about how much I love Geelong and the Geelong community, but it was time for me to get out of the Geelong community. Off mic we spoke about, I went to you go to pubs and the same people are there and they do the same thing every week, and I'm like, I've got to get out of here and try something else. Yeah. I'd been playing football and was maybe a little bit disillusioned with that as well. So I was looking to go overseas. My now wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was not so keen to take a life overseas. I got the opportunity to go and play football in Perth. So that was sort of the next best thing. It was far enough away, never been there in my life, and went over there with the plan to be there for 1 year, maybe 2, and stayed for 6 and sort of came back kicking and screaming a little bit. We'd had our first son over there. Both our families were here. It was really hard to see both our families missing their firstborn grandson growing up and stuff like that. And I wanted to get back here while I was still young enough to play some football with my local team, Newtown and Chilwell, a place I love so much and that has given me so much. And I wanted to sort of, get back into that and have my kids grow up in that community club environment as well. So, 6 years in Perth, which were incredible. We've still got great friends over there. We still wish we were in that weather. We definitely didn't come back to Geelong for the weather, that's for sure.
And not many people do, unfortunately. But I love that. And it sounds like you've broadened your horizons. In terms of property and throughout your construction, I guess, journey, what did property mean to you? Like, has it ever been something that you've had a really big interest in terms of for yourself, or in terms of what home means to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I still remember when I was young, a rainy day, sitting on the floor and I was drawing houses, and I'd progressed from the standard square with a triangle and the smoke and the seagull in the top corner sort of thing. You're still there? Yeah, you'll get there one day. Houses, homes have always been something to me. I don't know, it's always been underneath, and I loved, like I said, building homes. Mm-hmm. That really was something I enjoy, held close to me. Soon as I remember when we got to Perth, We moved in with a couple, and then it was, me and Liz were getting a bit more serious, and we wanted to move out on our own. And soon as it was move out on our own, I never thought of renting. I just wanted to buy. One of life's little regrets, I don't have too many regrets, is that I'd never travelled much, and it was because I was so hell-bent on getting a house and renovating, and I just had a real interest on making homes better and seeing the benefits and the positives of in every house. So, I pretty quickly bought a property over there. It's interesting, we had at the footy club I was at a mortgage broker who I didn't even know those people existed, and come and told me I pretty much could get a house for free. I didn't need much money. It was like 5% and LMI, which I had no idea about. I just thought that's what you paid. You paid this amount of money for a bank to give you heaps more money. I was pretty naive to everything. I was just so hell-bent on getting a house and getting stuck in and using the skills that I had to renovate, because when I went to Perth, carpentry is not much of a thing in Perth. They do double brick homes. The jobs that I was looking at was either hanging doors all day, every day, which I couldn't have thought of anything worse. Formwork carpentry, which to me wasn't really the carpentry that I'd done or I was skilled in. My boss was Grant was very strong in quality, like using very minimal, if at all, no more gaps, and everything was take your time, do things right, not just wham bam type stuff, or hand pitching roofs, which we don't do in Victoria. We have trusses. I don't know why they don't do that, but they still hand pitch roofs. I think might have changed now, but so carpentry wasn't a thing over there. So I wanted to utilise my skills in some way, shape or form, and renovation was that. Yeah. So first house over there, renovated. Sold on the same day I proposed to Liz on a boat out in Rottnest Island amongst our best mates. And that was that journey. We were initially going to hold, but we thought I knew I was going to propose. Liz didn't know that. Had a wedding, interstate move. I just thought let's get some of these funds, put it into some other things. And we'll go again when we get to Geelong. So, that renovation worked out really well for us. So I put everything into that, every cent I had. For Christmases and birthdays, I was getting split systems for my birthday and paint vouchers for Christmas, and I was borrowing money off my grandma because I just super impatient. I just wanted to renovate it tomorrow, and I wanted to go at it 100%.
Do you think... And the Perth market is an interesting market. I won't open that kind of can of worms up at the moment, but
we have 2 properties there now. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's all about, I guess, timing with Perth, because it's up and down.
Cool.
Yeah, very much so. The quality of work, did that kind of reflect well in the market? Because I know sometimes it can be, the location is the only thing, doesn't matter about the house quality, but obviously it sounds like you poured a fair bit of passion, time, blood, sweat and tears into the property. Do you feel like that was really well reflected in the result that you got? Do you know anything about the buyer or anything? Yeah,
no, look, I didn't know too much. And again, I was still super naive at the time. It was like, build something nice and someone will pay heaps of money for it. That was about as far as my knowledge extended. But we bought in a cracking location. I was always across that. Like, we bought the suburb. We were in and around the Mount Lawley, Inglewood suburb, and Maylands it butted up next to it, but the price difference was enormous. So I just was like, it was next to like a main street, Beaufort Street. There was a train station across the road. Like, it just ticks so many boxes, and it was in what they call over there a villa. So it was one of 3. And when we looked at it, I couldn't believe the price for the location, and it was just me and my wife, so we didn't need it to be a family home. We just needed it to tick some boxes for us, which it absolutely did in terms of location. And then when we were looking at buying it, the words escaped me. What is it when you're in a group complex and you pay into a fund? What's that called?
Owners corporation or something?
Yeah, an owners corporation. I looked in that, and it had like nearly $10,000 in it. So all of these houses had been paying money into this, but no one controlled it. No one went onto it. No one used it. So did a bit of investigation into that and knew that I could then spend that money to upgrade the complex. So everything that helped the complex, that money could be spent on. Became really good friends with the girl that stayed behind us. She had no idea, but said, if you're going to improve the complex, go for it. So then we had you had a 66% voting.
Yeah.
So whatever I wanted to do pretty much went ahead. So I redid all the gardens. We put in extra parking spaces, redid the front fence, put in some trees, etc., which improved the facility and in turn improved our home. Yeah.
Benefited you as well.
Yeah.
You kind of, I think, sold yourself short there at the start, saying like you were young and naive. I don't know if you actually use those words, but you just kind of, but then that's pretty clever to be able to clue on to go, righto, there's some money here that I can actually help myself, but help kind of the street appeal, help my neighbours, everyone wins. From that scenario. So you've moved back to Geelong. What is your personal and professional property journey like in Geelong? So you've come back playing at Newtown Footy Club. What happens next?
Went into project management. So when I was in Perth, I went into project management and did some more study, did some more work over there, came back here into the project management space, worked in retail where I was lucky enough to travel the world doing retail stores. So construction had a lot that was unbelievably busy. I remember I was actually speaking about this yesterday. At one point in time, I had 46 stores that I was looking at from conception to ready to hand over. So it just taught me so much about time management, stress management, relationship management, etc. So I did that for a while, which taught me so much. The travelling part is great. Not so much on the home front though, when you're living out of a suitcase a little bit. And it's great that I'm going to Dubai and Indonesia and over to the Philippines and New Zealand, and I'm doing this pretty cool travel while Liz is at home with the kids. So since had another child, so looked for a change there. Went and worked in a family office. For a family or a couple of families, looking after their private properties and commercial properties and stuff like that, which was really cool. Got really personal, which is a thing that I love. Building relationships is probably my strength and something that I really enjoy. So that was really enjoyable. Then moved to another company where started on big developments, so independent over 50s living, building 300 homes, a clubhouse, all civil works for what was once a paddock. So that really interested me. I'd had the residential, working in residential. I'd then had the retail experience, then wanted to go and get, civil. Civil was something I'd never done, but then commercial plus my love of housing and building something for people was in there as well. It just ticks so many boxes and was an incredible journey in itself. I rose through the ranks, so to speak, really quickly there, from project manager to construction manager to head of design and construction, sitting on an executive leadership team in a billion-dollar company. All happened really, really quickly, and I do put that all down to relationships, really, and my ability to build key relationships really quickly. But it wasn't before long until I realised that, you stop and look around and think, how did I get here? Do I really want to be here? Yeah. So I don't know. That's a quick snapshot. Did I answer the question?
Absolutely, you did, and it's great to kind of unpack all that experience that you've got, because it's obviously led you to a completely different chapter in your life now, and hopefully you don't mind me calling it a chapter. But how did we pivot from all this property experience to buddy up the business that you've got today?
There's a long road to that, but sort of a key moment, which is pretty much a mental breakdown, so to speak, was probably the that was the moment. Like if I wanted to pinpoint it, it's, you know, in my in our second lounge room, broken down in tears on the floor. Kids, you know, what's going on with dad type thing. I did say beforehand I might get emotional.
And
here.
that is okay, yeah. Take your
I was
time.
going to have a water.
Of course.
But that was really hard, and that really was the pivotal moment of what am I doing? The conversation was, I don't want to do this anymore, which got a lot darker than that. But, yeah, that key pivotal moment was Liz's incredible wife, supportive, saying, well, you don't have to do this anymore. For me, I'd worked so long, so hard. By then we'd already we'd bought another home, renovated another home in Geelong West, sold that to upsize, bought another home down the street. We'd just knocked over the back, extended, renovated. And to me in that moment, it's like where I got stuck in that time was money and things that don't really matter, like cars and money, and just things you don't recognise that you don't need. So, you know, in that moment I was like, I can't quit. I don't want to lose the house. At that time we had 3 investment properties. I'd worked so hard for all of this stuff. I didn't want to let that go. And Liz's comment of, if you're not here, then what does it matter? Yeah.
Take your time.
So it's
Thank you for sharing, obviously.
Thank you for opening up so much. And it is true, like, of course, and a lot of people wouldn't be as strong as you to be able to understand that all actually doesn't matter. But also I can imagine the feeling of being stuck, of being like, well, how are we going to essentially continue on if you're not
absolutely.
doing all the work that you were currently doing?
Yeah, and that's now the main feedback I get is congratulations for making that decision, which hindsight, easiest decision I've ever made during that time, and without Liz probably would never have made it, and who knows where I am now. So super thankful for that period in my time that's led me to buddy up, led me to live my purpose of having a positive impact on as many people as I can in my lifetime, which now I live day to day, and also that's my North Star. That answers every question. Or do you want to come on this podcast? Will it have a positive impact on people? Yes. My answer is yes. So where I was in a space where I wasn't having a positive impact on people, which was having a negative impact on me and those around me as well. So, yeah, that's the moment.
Yeah. And there's obviously so much as you said, you've got the investment properties and all those types of things, and that's just almost rewriting what the goal is, the North Star for you. And then you've got the 3 kids who are looking up to you, and sometimes the pressure of that, it's just kind of like, well, you know, what's your legacy? And it's sometimes, well, most people I think have a moment, a pivotal point in time where there is a value realignment. We touched on that at the very start. There is a change in direction, and that is all just so okay. And as Tal's alluded to there, it's being able to actually recognise that and then do something, because unfortunately I think, and there are a lot of people that don't have, as you obviously said, you're sharing your story. So hopefully there's more people with the confidence to be able to go, okay, we need to try and make this work. And you've also touched on relationships. Obviously you've got an amazing wife who supports you there, and that, you know, that broader network you've got now. So congratulations for making that decision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is as well is it's so common, and we just don't speak about it enough. And I understand that, especially the construction industry. I know there's so many different industries that people unfortunately just can't speak up, and they don't have that support network.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the construction industry, and I think that was a big part of it as well. I still love property, still love development. Construction's probably where I'm a little bit disillusioned with, in terms of, you know, when I did my apprenticeship, I was taught really strongly that you look after the next trade that comes after you. As the carpenters, we're setting out windows for bricklayers, we're making sure everything's set up for the electricians, the plumbers, etc. And I feel like the space, for whatever reason, has become very selfish, so to speak. Each trade's looking out for themselves. It's a tough space at the moment. Seeing and hearing and builders go bust and the impact that has on their families and the workers' families and the suppliers, and it's felt so far and away. It's not just a builder going bust like that. That travels down so far. And yeah, that was probably a little bit of the negativity. I didn't want to be involved in anyone going bust or people being impacted negatively in their lives because of what they do for a job.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't mind me asking, sorry, Tals, do you feel that potentially as you worked your way up the kind of the chain, so to speak, in the company, do you feel like the support, the pressure, the responsibilities had a big influence on your, being able to see the industry slightly differently to being on the tools as well?
Yeah, 100%. Big corporate world's very, very different, and places, people can be viewed differently depending on what level you're at, and you get up into some of those, leadership rooms, boardrooms, etc., and it's spoken very differently to what a HR part of your business can perceive it to be from the outside, and it does. And I get it, businesses need to make money, but the decisions, when you have a culture of customer, people, etc., it's unreal until you get into a room and it's like, well, if we make the decision on this, we'll make less money than if we go this way, and so let's go this way, and it goes against, again, those values. It is, I think it's 100% correct. And again, as I rose up, the world and the vision and the view got different. Played a part.
Yeah. And look, talk to us, please explain what is Buddy Up, what inspired Buddy Up, and I'm really excited to hear more about that.
So Buddy Up, we're a company that works with young men with disability, run specific programs, structured, based around life skills, social connection. Our 4 key pillars are health, relationships, community and learning, and they're 4 key pillars that are really strong to us, and that's what we base all of our programs off. When I say us as well, Buddy Up started in Perth. One of my best mates that I played some football with over there, he actually fractured my skull. He ran into me and fractured my skull.
Wow.
And we've been best mates ever since. A story for another day. But he went on a similar journey in the corporate world, started coaching all abilities football, and if you've never seen or witnessed or been a part of any all abilities sport, I can't tell you enough to go down and get involved in it, because it's back to what sport, the true meaning of sport is, having fun, being around mates, etc. But he coached for a team that we played over there, Wembley, started an all abilities football team, and post-season they were messaging, ringing, come on, coach, can we do other thing? Can we keep playing footy? And footy season's only a small season, especially in the all-abilities space. So he got them together, and he was a PT back in a past life, did some things called box fit, beach fit, just go to the, it was all about movement and connection and being together. And the more and more he did that, the more he recognised that there was no companies doing this sort of thing, especially when it was health-based, social connection-based. He also recognised a clear gap in learning as well, like teaching them key life skills. How do they get there? How do they catch buses, move out of home, all of that sort of stuff. So that started as a side hustle for him, grew into what it is today in Perth. I think they have Buddy Up and now Sister Up over there, which has been going for a year. I think they have over 150 participants, and across both of them now would probably have close to 100 employees. My journey on that, Liz's brother Matty, absolute legend, autistic, and I've been on his journey from diagnosis with autism to then having secondary type 1 diabetes, and just saw that journey of him going through high school, lucky enough to go to Joey's, who were incredible in a mainstream school. But when he left school, his entire social network was pulled out from under him. Friends that would be with him at school have now gone on to gain their own employment, go to uni, go travelling, do other things, and Maddie didn't have some of those opportunities. Saw how real social isolation can be. So there are a couple of the big things that we seek to really encourage that social connection. So, we run Buddy Up like a sporting club. It's warm, it's welcoming, everyone comes in, high fives, hugs, they're all mates. So, so a long answer of that, we started in Perth. When I was going through some of my stuff, 2 years prior, I went to his wedding, saw all these boys at his wedding. I was like, how incredible is this? Had the biggest smile. The day after, you have your drinks. Sometimes better than the wedding the day after, I reckon.
He's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, so much more relaxed. We went out for dinner afterwards and I said, talk to me about Buddy Up. And he was just talking to me, and unbeknownst to me, we left and Liz goes, you should have seen your face when you were talking about that. You were just so engaged. You should think about doing something like that in Geelong. I love coaching kids sport, love again, relationship building and helping others, and it just aligned really well. But not enough money, not enough this. I'm still caught up. Breakdown happened, and I parted ways with the company I was at. Got stuck on the couch for a month, I'd say, and then picked myself up. It's time to look at what's next. Went to Perth and worked for a week in the business, and came home and I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Al and Shan have been incredible in assisting me on the journey. Originally I was going to start my own business name, etc. But we just felt we were stronger together. Shared costs, shared experiences. Last year in January, started Buddy Up. 2 young boys, Tommy and Clem, they'll probably like getting a mention on this, that I mentored directly. So that's January last year. Now we have over 40 mentors working with us and over 75 boys in the program, and hopefully looking to launch Sister Up next year.
That's amazing. And for the participants, I guess, what are some of the things that you guys do? Yeah,
so our main one is Step Up. So it's a 5-hour program. So you come in the boys come in the morning, and we've got our own gym in Geelong West. So they come in, we've got a PT who runs them through a gym session. We normally don't start till 15:15, 20 past, sometimes a little bit later because the boys are just so happy to see each other. The program's aimed to be 1 day a week. We do have boys that come 2 and 3 days because they love it, but so a lot of these boys haven't seen each other for a week. They don't really see each other outside of that, although that's what we're trying to change. But they're, again, dapping each other up and talking about their weeks, and social connection, really important. So we foster that. PT runs them through their paces. We're not trying to build pecs or six-packs or biceps, although a few probably are. It's mainly about movement. We do a cardio, get on the cardio machines, might throw a few weights around, do some body weight stuff, maybe some hand-eye coordination stuff, utilise our basketball ring out the back. There's an hour of movement, music pumping. After that, we head down to our local cafe, Mano Deli, who have been incredible with the boys. We've got the best table in the house, is reserved for us every day there. So the boys go down. That's about getting out into the community. So again, our 4 key pillars: health, relationships, community and learning. First session's about health and community. We go out there. It's about teaching the boys, out in the community, how to opening the door for others, how to order their own drink, how to pay for their own drink. A big part of it as well is teaching the community. So especially Mano Deli, who have been incredible, and the people in it are incredible now. But I remember when I first started, we walk around in a group. There's 6 to 7 per group. We're 1-to-1 with mentors. So there can be 12 to 13 of us walking, up Albert Street, down Shannon Avenue to go, and we've all got our buddy up gear on, and we could get, a lot of looks up and down, like, what are you guys doing out here, which is really sad. But, also have had people approach and say, is it okay if I say hello to them? And it's like, they're just, it's just a young guy like I am, say hello. And look, they don't understand how to react or how to chat. And a part of what we're doing is saying they're just like anyone else. Just say hello. These boys are no different to me or you. So it's been really cool to see that community piece as well from the other side. But while we're there, we do a gratitude journal, really about positive mental health, getting the boys to recognise the good that's happening in their lives, because at times can get bogged down on the negatives. So what are 2 things that went well last week? What are 2 things that you're looking forward to next week? And what's 1 thing you did last week to work towards your goal? So we do individual goal setting, which I'll touch on in a minute. But the reason we're one-to-one, but we run in a group setting for the benefits of being in and around your peers. And again, I'll go into some of the major wins we've seen through that. But, some of the boys will say basketball. That's what went well last week. Because we're one-to-one, we can say, what was it about basketball that you really enjoyed? Oh, I liked it when I got a goal in. And then, why did you like that? Why was that part good? Oh, because all the boys came around and they gave me a high five and they patted me on the back and it felt really good. So then we're like, well, how about when someone else gets a goal, you go and do that, because you know how that makes you feel. So as a team, you want to pick up your teammates. So we can dig really deep into those one-word answers and turn them into a conversation and put them into real life and help them to understand what it is they like doing and what it is they like. Same with what are we looking forward to next week. We'll get guys say, nothing. I've got nothing on. And we'll go Monday, I've got a program Monday, Tuesday. Actually, I'm going with my mum to pick up my niece and we're going to the movies and I haven't seen her for ages. And then sit up, shoulders back, helping them recognise there's so much good happening in your life. On the other side of that as well is, someone says, I went to mini golf, and I sit there and go, I like mini golf. Maybe I could be friends because we both like mini golf, and try and create that connection. So once we do that one-to-one with the mentor, we then talk about it as a group. Again, confidence in talking in public, talking in groups. Not all the boys can. We've got boys that are non-verbal that will assist. We've got boys that are too anxious that will assist, but we've got boys that no way would they have spoken up in public when they started, but now we're telling them to be quiet because we're all trying to talk, which is awesome problem to have. So that's the second hour of the day. Third hour of the day, we go back and we do learning modules. So his team and ourselves have developed 48 different learning modules based around life skills. So this week is living independently, so moving out of home. So 3 questions, an activity and a recap each week. So living out of home, moving out of home, catching public transport, a catch up with friends. Like, we take that for granted, organising a catch up with friends, but in that module it's how are you going to get there, because transport isn't easy. How are you going to pay for it? Money isn't always available. Who are you going to invite? The friendship circles aren't as great or as strong at times. So helping them to recognise those key steps they need to take in order to do something like organising a catch-up with mates, we take it for granted. And then every 5 weeks we do individualised goal setting where all the boys are on an NDIS plan, which has goals inbuilt to that. They're often not set by them. They're set for them. So we want to help them pick a goal that they want to achieve, whether that is buying a PlayStation 5 or it's becoming an A-grade basketball ref, or it's, one of the young guys I spoke to this morning, it's trying to get 8 hours sleep a night, can often stay up until 3-4 o'clock in the morning and sleep all day, and then when it's buddy up days, he comes in really tired because his sleep patterns are poor. You know, that's really important for him to get sleep. It's a really important part of health. So that individualized goal setting we do every 5 weeks to help them. Have you achieved your goal? Yes, no. Yes, cool. How did you get there? How did you feel achieving it? What's your next goal? If no, why did you not get there? Do we need to adjust your goal? Do you need to put more time into it? And that's where we come back to the gratitude journal, where the last question is, what did you do last week to work towards your goal, to try and help the boys, keep them accountable week to week, which we've seen a couple of individuals get their license, which is a level of independence that you can almost not get in any other thing. So seen so much there. So that's the 3rd hour of the day. 4th hour, we go down to the supermarket. The boys grab the basket. They order meats from the deli. They grab vegetables, wraps or rolls, salads. They scan, they bag. We use cash for that portion of the day. So if they scan everything and it's $46, we've got our little pouch that they all put $10 cash in at the start of the day. What notes do we need? What coins do we need? If we put this much in, how much change do we get back? So, you know, maths, money skills, etc. Life skills going to the supermarket. We then catch a bus back, teach them this is the timetable. For a lot of boys, especially on the autism spectrum, if the bus says 1:10 and it's not there at 1:10, they can really get anxious. So, you know, teaching them to look at the app. It's okay, the bus says it's 5 minutes away. If we just wait here for another 5 minutes, it's okay, it will be here. Tap on, tap off. I think we may be the only people in Geelong that actually tap on and tap off buses. There's not too many others that do other than us. And the bus driver at times can get frustrated because we've got 12 boys tapping on and tapping off, and he's like, hurry up, I'm running late already and you guys are tapping on and tapping off. We'll catch the bus back, go back into the HQ, into the kitchen, slicing and dicing. Some boys can use knives, some can't. Some can use graters, some can't. Some are progressing through to that. But it's a team effort. It's plates out, sauces out. Someone's cutting the bread rolls, opening the wraps. We all make lunch together, all eat lunch together. Over the last 2 weeks or week, the NBA's been pretty prominent on the TV.
Love it.
But conversation flowing. After that, the boys' favourite part, wash your own dish, dry it, put it back, wipe down benches, vacuum, clean up the space. Again, life skills. And then it's free time for the end of the day. So we've got a basketball ring that is very heavily used, but board games, Uno's a pretty big one, table tennis table. So yeah, that's a 5-hour day. And that's our main program. Outside of that, we do a pups program, which is for the younger boys, where we pick up some boys from school and do a condensed version of an evening over 2 hours. We do some one-to-one stuff. Once a month, we go to the pub for dinner, because who doesn't love going to the pub for dinner for Palmy night? So Queen of the West have been incredible. Last month, I think we had 55 there for that dinner, which has become a massive thing for a lot of boys. And again, boys that would never go out in public with others, let alone being in a very, very loud room of 55 people. So yeah, I've probably taken up the entire podcast. Sorry, you guys haven't spoke much and I've spoken heaps.
This is all about you, and that is just incredible. Like, honestly, and you can really feel, you can sense your passion about it. Like when you talk about it, you really light up, and yeah, you've definitely got me invested. And I just want to say, like, you know, you've been in business, as you said, since 2023, started 2023, and you've already built it 150 participants.
2024, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
yeah.
Yeah, Perth's been in business for 3 years.
Oh yes, okay.
So
that's huge.
We're
though,
super lucky. Yeah, their growth is incredible, and we've got so much more happening over there that we'll bring here, like Sister Up. We're hoping to launch Sister Up in 2026.
Yeah.
Here we've got so much interest from the females in the community, and we really want to get out there and do that. But you know, again, small business, we want to make sure we've grown organically, have everything, you know, ducks in a row. We really want to make sure we're not just here, we're not a flash in the pan, we want to be here forever and continue to have the impact that we're having on individuals for as many people as we can, again, leaning into that, my own personal purpose, so having that positive impact.
And that positive impact, by the sounds of it, spreads beyond the participants. I'm sure, the families would be getting a lot of, good stories coming from there as well. And then you've touched on a little bit the I guess the greater community, the awareness part of that. How, I guess, does the families and that community element kind of contribute to your overall business model? Is that a secondary purpose? Is it kind of something that you thought about or knew that was going to have such an impact on, or was it focused first and foremost on the participants, and that's a really nice byproduct that's come along with that?
Yeah, I think it's just been focused on doing the best we can every day for the participant, and everything that has come out of that has been incredible. Like first business, I didn't know I've been in leadership positions, executive, etc., where I know about business, but until you run your own business, you actually have no idea. But I can honestly say, I've just, might not sound like the best thing, but never focused on it as a business. All I've focused on it is do the best we can possibly do, and the rest will look after itself, and it has tenfold. But the impact that we have on parents is massive. We do pick up and drop off as well. We're a very structured, purposeful business aimed at life skills. We want to, if someone leaves our program, we've done our job. Like I don't want to focus on keep them in the business because we get money. Like that couldn't be further from what we want to do. We want individuals to go out there and get employment. As I spoke off mic, I've been out there speaking to big companies saying, how do I create opportunity for these boys to get employment? How do I get them out there into the world and have them live their best life? Because again, I go back to that focus on money. We think money, you go to work for money. A lot of people have that mindset. We grow up for that mindset. But what we see is purpose. For everyone, it's you spend so much time with your work colleagues. You want to be friends with them. You want to, but that creates friendships, connection, purpose, structure. Gets them out of bed every morning. There's so much more to work than money, and that's probably the biggest thing that's changed for me, particularly working with a lot of these young men who just want to work. They want to get out there and work. They want to do good. They want to be part of the community, and for us, that's what we work every day to try and get them to be as big a part of the community as we can. Hence, trying to get an all abilities football team at Newtown. We started last year with one buddy up basketball team. We've now got 3 buddy up basketball teams with 10 plus kids who have never played basketball in their life, and they love it, getting out there, being part of something bigger and greater, and team sport and healthy and learning new skills. Again, it keeps tying back into our 4 key pillars. But yeah, again, probably didn't answer your question 100%, but focusing on doing everything we can for the individual has had, huge benefits for families. And I think that's in construction world, property development, whatever world you want to call it. I never knew there was another world. I'd come home from work most nights, especially in the latter stages. We'd set records on how many homes we built in a year. We'd set records on size and quality and speed, and it was never good enough. You'd get, I don't know if I can swear, but a bit of a shit sandwich. Always like, oh, you did really well there, but this needs to be better, and well done on that. But you always remembered that middle part, and it's like, no matter what I can do, it's never good enough. Within weeks of being involved in Buddy Up, you've got parents crying and hugging you, saying you've changed our lives, and that, you can't put.
Nothing would compare to that.
Yeah, you can't compare to how that makes you feel. Like every night I go home, I'm so excited for what our boys, our mentors have done throughout the day, what the individuals, participants, part of the program have achieved. And, we went away not long ago, and, I was so pumped to come back. And see what the boys have been up to, how much have they grown. It's just a whole new world now of really loving what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's amazing. I guess one question, and it might be maybe a loaded question to a certain degree, but what's one thing that you wish the community knew that you don't think the community know about Buddy Up all the participants?
What's one thing I wish we knew? I think I have this personally, that I believe I'm a really good person, but everyone does. So you say and you want to do good, but not everyone believes you because there's often not a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want people to know that we are here for the right reasons. Like we're here to grow individuals, to grow friendships, to grow skills, confidence, independence, capability. Like that is why we're here. That's why I'm here, and that's what I put into our team always. Like we're here to do good, to change lives, and the NDIS, it doesn't have the greatest name, and there's some really good reasons why it doesn't have the greatest name, but at the end of the day, its purpose is to help individuals to grow, and that's what we're here to do. So I believe every program we have, every minute we spend with each individual, we're working towards the same goals as an NDIS. So, I suppose that's it. I don't know if that answers the question, but It's really hard to tell someone you're good and you're doing good and you're doing it for the right reasons, because everyone says that.
Yeah. And sometimes it almost feels like, why do I even have to justify this? Like, why is
it can get annoying at times.
Why? Yeah, it's kind of like, well, why wouldn't I be doing that? Why?
Yeah.
And that's against the values and character that you have absolutely displayed today. Of every decision in your life has been about good values and aligning yourself with that. And I think, from some of the hardest moments in your career, there's no question that you're doing this for the greater good for everyone, because every decision you've made, some of the toughest decisions that have actually impacted you personally, have led you to giving so many more people the opportunity for the greater good.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And don't get me wrong, along the way I've made some bad decisions as well, and maybe turned into and done some things that I wish I wouldn't have, but that's all led me to this position.
For sure. And aside from Sister Up that's coming hopefully, is there a way that the community can help out, I guess anything we can do in terms of providing the participants or?
Yeah, I do. I get that question a lot. And again, the Geelong community is incredible. What we've been given, like our basketball out the back, Gorilla, I cold messaged the CEO on LinkedIn and said, could you help us out with a price on a basketball ring? And he donated a $4,000 basketball ring and put it in a truck the next day. We've got, the Kennedy Group who are putting in money to help us out with our facilities. Dulux donated all the paint off on Paco, all the paint to do our HQ. Like at every step, we get donated stuff. Our bench outside, a carpenter that I used to work with, now at Smith & Sons, donated, whipped it up in a day. I put a call out and he said, I've got my apprentices whipping it up tonight and come down tomorrow and grab it. I don't know if there's any one thing. I'm really hard at, I'm not really great at accepting stuff and asking for help. Anything that can help the boys, if you think it can help the boys. Facilities, outdoor, we're trying to build a new outdoor structure at the moment for shade in summer and out of the elements in winter, some timber and some roofing, and we're building a fence and a new gate. We've identified we could adjust some safety somewhere, so we're after a new gate to put into a fence area there. I don't know, it's facilities, things that can help the boys, I suppose. Yeah. Anything you think, a lady around the corner donated a brand new $1,600 machine last week because she loves what we do and she walks past every day and thinks it's incredible. So, we're pretty lucky that we get given so much already. Yeah,
I think the Geelong community is lucky to have you guys. So
absolutely, that's incredible. Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you don't mind, we're going to finish off with some rapid fire questions. Right. They're meant to be one-worded answers, but the way we ask them usually allows you to kind of expand.
I'm not great at one word either, as you've probably just seen.
That's great.
I'm going to start with one because you've touched on it a couple of times about the travel, and you've been to a lot of places worldwide. What's your favourite holiday destination?
Righto. It's funny. we leave this country to holiday all the time, but my favourite place in the world so far will be Coral Bay in Western Australia. So incredible place. We're just booking. We mentioned it a week ago. Geez, I'm so far away from my one word, aren't I?
No, it's good.
No, love this.
Exmouth. It's the
Coral-
Ningaloo
yes.
Reef.
I've heard so
amazing.
many amazing
incredible.
things about.
Walk off the beach in your flippers and your snorkel, and the most incredible marine life. We went swimming with whale sharks. I won't go on because you said one word. I've already
No, that's
done about
amazing.
150.
We love talking about holidays, so
We do.
we should make a secondary podcast about holiday recommendations.
But so many amazing places in Australia that I think we should look at more.
For sure. I 100% agree with that. One thing that you do every day that you couldn't go a day without, essentially, or if anything, really. Like,
Jeez.
I've asked that in a really unusual way. Are you?
Maybe exercise. I don't probably do it every day. I wish I did it every day, but I'm lucky enough to be part of some middle-aged men run club, and we've got a man walk we do on a Monday with a group of people. I think it was actually in COVID that I actually hated running my whole footy career. I hated training, hated running. COVID gave me a release and realised how good it was mentally. So it's not really for the physical. It's to run with mates and talk and chew the fat. So, yeah, probably exercise, I'd say.
And the final question, the boys are whipping up the lunch. Are you taking a wrap or a roll?
I started roll. I love, I'm a roll.
See, if I've got the option, if both of them are there, I'm going for a roll, 100%.
Definitely.
It's
just
crazy
wraps.
how many wrap eaters we have.
Really?
Though. Yeah, like early on it was probably 90% wraps. Yeah,
Wow.
that's probably changed a little bit now, but yeah, I'm a roll person. Bit of bread.
That's the best. Thank you so much. This has been, such a pleasure to have the opportunity to sit down with you, and thank you for being so raw and opening up, and everything that you're doing is absolutely incredible. So kudos to you, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.